We are very excited today to have our very first guest from another brokerage. So we are all about collaboration, and we just want to work together and grow.
Welcome to the Open Books podcast, where we discuss all things real estate, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success. I'm your co-host, Curtis Haddock, alongside Brooke Massey, and we have a very special guest, as Brooke told you guys, Keith Tillman. Welcome, Keith. Thank you for being here. Super excited to have you. And being a guest. I appreciate you, coming into our territory and sharing a little bit about yourself and your story. So.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're happy that you're here. Okay, so I want to give a little bit of background on Keith, and I'll try not to steal your thunder. But the reason why we wanted Keith on this episode is I was going through a list of some of the the top producers in our local market here in Oklahoma City, and I was curious to see how if there was any newer agents that were doing really, really well. And we know how long people have been doing it based on their license number, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I was looking at the top producers, I just pulled up the top 500 agents in Oklahoma City, and I was looking for some of the highest license numbers to see kind of where some of these newer agents were at. And most of the agents, in fact, all of the agents that had made it into the top 500, they all kind of started around 2 years ago or so, and that's about how long you've been doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Two years. Yep. And Keith, of all of the agents that have been doing it for 2 years or less, you were in the top three. I think you were you might have been the second or third. So it's really, really good in such a short amount of time. And I was not that when I got started in real estate, and so I was curious. I was like, we should get Keith on here and ask him some questions about how he got started and where his deals come from and your background and stuff like that. And so I'm really excited to hear and learn about your story, because not a lot of people have success like that right out of the gate, because all we hear about is fail.
Yes.
And
especially in the first 5 years. So if you're already killing it in your first two, then that's something to be proud of.
I mean, even if we look at the first year, right? I mean, 75% of agents fail in the first year. It's just wild. And so anyways, you're killing it, keep killing it. But tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, and, or just what you were doing before you even thought about getting into real estate, or you got into real estate.
Right. No, I appreciate you guys having me. It's very humbling when you even called me and told me that statistic that I had no idea.
I love that you had no idea.
I genuinely had no idea.
You were like, oh, wow, I didn't even know.
I knew I was doing okay, but I didn't realize I was doing that well.
Yeah.
So it's good and bad. I don't really stop to think about how far I've come or how well I'm doing. So
I'll say this. The only person or two people possibly that were ahead of you, I'm not going to say any names, but the reason why I didn't call them is nothing against this, because we have this program as well, but they were Zillow Flex agents. And so I think that Zillow Flex is great for some agents, and obviously there's some for newer agents too. They can do really, really well with it, and we have an amazing team that uses it. But I thought, I didn't know for sure. I knew you weren't on Zillow Flex because of the brokerage you were with, and I didn't think that they do it, and so that's why I was curious. That's why I called you, because you were doing it organically, so to speak. So
what do you do?
Hold on. Tell us your background. Tell us tell us before you got into real estate.
Yeah. So again, my name is Keith. I'm an agent with Black Label Realty. I also do some investments as well. Before real estate, I was actually in telecommunications and sales. Specifically, I worked with AT&T for 14 years. Kind of went up that corporate chain, started in the retail store as a retail sales associate. From there, I became an assistant manager.
You were there for 14 years?
Yep.
Did you start out as a sales?
Yeah, I started out as a part-time sales agent. Yeah.
Just worked your way up.
Yeah, I just worked my way up, obviously full-time. Assistant manager. Then I went business account executive and ended my career as a fiber solutions executive. So basically that's sales for business to business.
Okay. Okay.
So, at the end, obviously when I quit doing that, it was something that I needed to do. I love real estate.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I didn't like my job.
Yeah.
But I am thankful for it because it taught me a lot about business.
Oh,
it
yeah.
taught me a lot about some of those things I did at that job I'm doing now.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm always thankful for that opportunity that I had and the people that helped
just
me
the
get there.
discipline that you learn from working a corporate job, just showing
Especially
up
for
every day.
so long. Yeah.
When I quit my corporate gig and got into real estate, I was so used to the 8 to 5 grind, and so when I got into real estate full time, my very first day, I showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning, ready to get the day started, thinking like I'm treating this like this is my career now, so it's my job. And I bet you can guess, Keith. And this was a long time ago still, but not much has
It's the same
changed.
today. Yeah. It's the same today.
How many people do you think were at the office with me at 8 o'clock in the morning as in real estate?
I'd be surprised, honestly, if any.
No, there were none.
Yeah.
I was the only person.
Yeah.
And it was really weird to me. And I thought, where's everybody at? I was expecting to walk into this full house and like everyone's, hammering out the phone calls and doing their deals and writing contracts, and it was just crickets, silence, and it was very eye-opening to me. And I realized, well, it's not going to be hard to beat some of these people because
You just
gotta
showed
show
up.
I just showed up. That's all I did.
Yeah.
So what did you not like about your job? Not to throw
Right.
AT&T under the bus, but like what was it specifically that you were just like, man, this is just not for me anymore?
I felt like I was very limited on like what I could do next. Obviously capped out in pay. But the thing that I didn't like most was two things. One, it came to a point where they became very micromanaging. Very, very micromanaging.
Ooh.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah,
Like I don't like
that's
to be
hard.
micromanaged.
Especially if you are confident and you know what you're doing.
Right,
Don't micromanage me,
Especially when you're doing well on top of that. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I get it. Some people need that. But when it had started becoming very to the point I wasn't happy, I was doing well. And so
Plus,
it's
we're
like,
adults.
why interrupt that? Right.
Well, and I feel
Well,
like-
I always joked with my corporate job that it was my adult daycare that I ran.
Sure. I mean, the micromanagement part, I feel like is good in the beginning when you're training somebody.
Yes.
But when somebody knows
like,
their
I
job,
need that. I just want structure. Tell me
Yeah.
what to do,
Yeah.
how to do it, what to say,
I think
when
that
to
boils
say.
down to leadership too, leadership
Yeah.
styles.
Yeah.
And that's not a style that I want to show in leadership or follow.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you think that's not a style that most employees or subordinates want either.
Right.
And knowing that as a leader, you gotta, I think leaders sometimes everyone kind of gets an ego and wants to do it their way and there's some control issues I think sometimes.
Yeah.
But man, if you really want to empower people to do the things that you want them to do, I feel like, treat them like adults.
Right.
Once they know their job and they know what their task is, they either get it done or they don't. And if they
Right.
don't get it done, then they're going to be gone. We're going to find
Right.
someone else.
I mean, they'll
Yeah.
keep themselves out essentially.
Right, exactly.
And so and then the second thing,
go
go
for it.
the second thing, they're every year, corporate, they make changes. Some are necessary, some just aren't. It's just changes to make changes. And I just hated the idea that no matter what that change was, which typically impacted pay structure,
Yeah.
there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it
Oh,
goes back
yeah.
to people talking about job security and, you have that job security, you're going to get a guaranteed check every 2 weeks. I didn't feel like I had that job security because they could kick me out anytime I wanted.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do about it. They could change my pay,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
affected me and my family instead of my abilities affecting that.
Yep.
Take
Yeah.
care of my family. It was somebody else higher up
And-
than me.
and-
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, it's not job security anymore. You're exactly right.
Right.
Like, if anything, what we do now, would
Right.
you agree that you feel more
Oh,
secure
100%.
about taking care of your family?
I love holding myself accountable. Like if I have a poor month, I look back the last 30 to 60 days and like, what did I do different?
Yeah.
you know, what lacked? What can I do different going forward? Like, it's all on me and my shoulders. It's nobody else to blame.
Right. It's up to you. If you want to get
Right.
paid, you're gonna go get
Right.
paid.
So I think that in a sense, when I hear you say that, I'm like, you did have job security, but you didn't have
Control.
business security or building a net worth control. Like, there's no way to build any kind of net worth where you can really take care of your family indefinitely by just going the day-to-day corporate job, you know?
Right.
I
And
mean,
it
some
depends
people get lucky and
what you want out of
work their
life
way
and your
over.
goals too. 'Cause,
Right.
I mean, I have a good job where you can take care of your family very well, but I
Yeah.
just have different desires and ambitions and long-term goals that I just felt like I couldn't hit those staying where I was and being
Yeah.
stagnant and just
Yeah.
accepting that.
How scary was it to but did you quit cold turkey and go straight full time, or did you kind of dabble a little bit?
Yeah,
Like,
so it was very, very, very scary. It was. I talked about it for a couple years.
how many kids do you have?
Two
Kids.
Two girls.
And, two girls.
Two girls.
Oh,
girl
so
dad. Girl dad.
Super
Very proud
expensive,
girl dad.
you know,
Yeah.
and,
There you go.
My
Yeah.
wife, she's beautiful and high maintenance. So all three of them.
All of it.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, so then how old were your girls when you got into real estate?
So that's kind of a two-part answer, but we'll say when I went full-time real estate,
Yeah.
2 years old and 11 years old.
Okay.
2 and 11.
So they're pretty far. That's like my kids. My kids are
Yeah.
that about. My
Yeah.
kids are 2 and 9, so not quite the age
Yeah.
difference, but definitely there. So yeah, so I can imagine that was super
Yeah.
scary. And I'll tell you, when I made the jump, I was only married and I didn't have any kids, and I also we had just closed on our first ever home together too.
Yeah.
So we had a mortgage. And we had just been married for less than a year, and that was scary. If I had kids,
Dude.
gosh,
It's-
dude,
I couldn't
like
imagine.
respect to you
Yeah.
for doing that.
And that's what, honestly, that's what kept me from becoming an agent years ago. And that's also
Sure.
what that's also what delayed
Yeah.
me doing that. Because
Yeah.
like, if I have to suffer and not be happy so they can live a good life,
Sure.
then I, by all means, would do that in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. And so knowing that, like, this decision is not just affecting me, but a whole tree of people
Yeah.
around me, like,
You're
it
responsible
was,
for everyone.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, first thing was getting my wife's blessing and kind of having her see the vision.
What
that
did
I
she say?
seen.
Was she scared?
Oh yeah.
My wife was scared.
Shoot. First time it became a topic of discussion, it was like, it's not even an option for us, you know. But it kind of,
Insurance,
Oh, yeah.
I kind of had to show her over the years too, like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
This was
'Cause
part time.
it's-
This is a side hustle.
You're
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
against all odds. What we all got taught, you know.
Right. And then, she started seeing it. She started believing it, of course, through a lot of prayer. That kind of helped as well, helping me make that decision as well. I have a
Absolutely.
strong faith.
Yeah,
And
I love
so
that.
I just knew at that point, like, all right, even when I quit, honestly, I wasn't confident it was going to work out. But I was like, I feel like now is
You're
the
betting on
time.
yourself. It's
Like,
up to you.
God's calling me to do this right now, and I just have to take that leap. It was truly a leap.
So you kind of answered the question of kinda as far as like, it sounds like you did dabble in it a little bit, or like it was a side hustle for just a short period of time.
It was side hustle in the sense of like I was investing. So
Okay,
like me and
yeah.
my wife were doing some flips. We were
Okay.
acquiring rentals. We had a few Airbnbs, and so
Okay.
I did have, that knowledge and that background already. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was an easier plug and play than most because of my background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just, you don't want to rely on those investments.
No, for sure. Well, I mean, because you got to do several of them a year for it
Yeah.
to make up for a annual salary, right? And
Right.
and it's a lot faster if you can just work with buyers and sellers and close a couple of deals.
Yeah, I mean, you have really good months in this industry, and in 1 month you're making the same as you would flipping a house that took 4 to 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
So,
When we were talking about before we started this podcast, we were talking about flips, and
Yeah.
that was my thing. It was like, well, I'm just gonna go sell a house. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna order granite and paint this house. But
So what was it that pulled you in full time? That said, okay, I know, with,
like, what was the final straw?
Yeah, it was like, I know that job was like, there's things that are just not, that a lot of us don't like about the corporate gig. Obviously you want more control over your own destiny. Was there anything specifically that was like, okay, now I'm like, prayer, big one. Is there anything else that like stands out as far as like,
this is
this is the time.
Yeah. I mean, it was planned up to a point, like we talked about insurance, even having a vehicle, because I had a company vehicle. So I had to even get a vehicle before I could even think about it.
Yeah.
That's
So I did that
feel
like
that.
a year before. So like everything, all my excuses for quitting, I just kind of started eliminating.
Yeah. That's
Right.
awesome.
And I think one of the last things that we did before also was we bought a house. We bought a house that was almost in foreclosure. It was like 50% complete.
Yeah.
And so basically, when I made that decision, we had just got under contract, but I had to close on that house before I could even
So
quit.
you needed,
Yeah.
you needed,
Yeah, that
you
makes
needed
sense.
the income. For
I needed the
for
W-2
loan.
background,
That's what
right.
happened to me. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So like
But it was my-
literally 3 days after we closed, I quit.
Now, were you guys planning on moving in?
Yes.
To that
No,
house?
yeah, 100%.
Okay, so that's exactly what we did.
100%.
We when we closed on our first house, I needed the W-2 income, and then it was literally the next day, and I put my 2-week notice in, and they sent me home that day because I was making decisions that were like financial decisions for people, and so they sent me home.
Yeah.
Which gave me at least gave me 2 weeks of pay to get started, which is
Yeah.
not enough. Now,
Yeah.
did you have from doing flips and investments? I'm sure you developed some relationships through that.
Right, yeah.
Did you have any kind of pipeline at least started or built up whenever 3 days after you closed on that house? And it was
So that gave me a little bit of confidence because one of my first listings was my own flip. Right?
Sure, yeah.
And I closed on one previously and made, it was a nice flip. I had made like 40, 50K. So that gave me like that cushion
oh yeah,
to be
that
able
helps.
to like,
Yep.
not just be a good agent, but not feel like I need to close to pay
yeah.
bills. I could
You weren't gonna
genuinely
act
serve
desperate.
people
Yeah.
and just take care of them and not worry about the money that's
Yeah.
incoming.
Yeah, it helps. That helps a lot, especially having that cushion, for sure. So if you didn't have that cushion, do you think you would have been able to pull the trigger? Hard to answer.
That's hard to answer. First thought is probably not.
Knowing
that
what
was
you
a
know
big
now,
thing for my
obviously, you
wife.
could do
Yeah,
it,
Right.
that was a big thing for my wife, and I typically don't do anything without her blessing.
Yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
completely honest.
Oh, that's
And
good.
so,
That's-
of course,
that's good
the
communication.
first thing with wives, they want to know, well, financially, where we're
Yeah.
going to be at.
Yeah.
We're buying this house. Are we going to be able to pay for it?
Yep.
But we did have we had about 5 Airbnbs too at that point. So we had
Okay.
a little bit of passive income to where, worst case, if I just fell on my face, we'd have that temporarily until I could find something else.
At least get you through the month or something.
yeah,
Buy
yeah.
groceries. Keep the lights on.
I felt like I could get through like 6 months of not producing and be okay.
Oh, that's really good. That's really
So
good.
that was definitely a positive thing that helped us make that decision.
I got you.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit into like now you're in the industry. I'm sure that what people really want to know is how did you produce at such a high level, and things like that. Tell everybody before we get into that. We kind of talked a little bit about your high level production, but what does your business look like now? Where does the majority of your income come from? Is it still from flips, Airbnbs, or is it mostly from your customers? What is the makeup of your business right now?
So kind of piggybacking off of what you said, we still do those things, but not as much as we did. Right. I decided to put my whole focus into building my brand, my
Yep.
personal brand for
Yep.
retail. And so really, I'm just really, really busy with my retail. I've just started a team. So now I not only have to continue to produce for myself, but I'm also trying to mentor a couple different agents under me to try to help them get the same success that I had. And that's super important to me as well. Like I don't have these team members to just have them. I want them to really like not just
Thrive and
be as good as
succeed.
me, but be better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's
So,
huge because I don't think there's enough of that in this industry. So just take the time, and it's going to help them, help you, and it's a win-win
Right.
for everybody.
And so that, that's a whole animal and so on. I'm still, again, trying to be the best agent I can be and still trying to scale and grow myself, but then also be the best leader for my agents to help them as well.
When you start leading other agents, you grow naturally from that because
Absolutely.
now instead of just being involved in your own deals, you got 2 other agents now. So if they start producing at a high level, well, now you got triple the volume that you're exposed to, which means triple the problem solving,
true.
triple everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then trying to prioritize like time management as far as like, how much, can I invest into their business because it affects your business when you do that. And, it's really, it becomes some new challenges, so to speak,
Yeah.
so
your days fly by.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'll spend an hour or two with some of my agents, and next, half the day is gone, and I have 14 minutes calls, and,
Yeah.
and I haven't even started on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always
Yes.
fun. And then,
Feel
and
that.
then some of that to-do list is going to carry over to tomorrow.
100%.
For sure. That's funny.
100%.
That's so
Well,
funny.
we always say it's actually from a book. It's from Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. If you haven't ever read it, it's a really, really good book. And it just talks about just everything you'll ever encounter. But in there, he says, he says every successful business owner is at least 40 hours behind. And so Curtis and I always smile. We're like, we're so busy, we're so behind. And then we're like, that's because we're good business owners.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't wish that on anybody, but when I
No.
hear other people going through the same thing, it makes me smile because I'm like,
Well-
at the moment, you feel like you're the only one and you could always do better. And I'm really hard on myself.
It's hard not to
like,
compare and see like
Right.
the outside.
And
that
you're
other
like,
people
damn, other people
give
go
off.
through the same thing as me. Like,
Totally. And it's like, and when I say that, like it kind of sounds bad that we're 40 hours behind, but it's not, because we're running a business. So sometimes it's tasks and clients that we got to take care of, but other times it's, I got to build out a little system over here or go coach and train an agent or whatever. Those things take time and effort and energy. And sometimes you got to put them on a project list. So there's always something, especially if you're growing.
I was gonna say you're not growing if you're not.
It's never going to
Yep.
stop. So
stuff,
now I'm going to
yeah.
get 80 hours behind.
yeah.
I
I
really
think I
hope
heard
not.
this quote
I don't
like,
want to be.
you asked for all this food on the plate, and now you're complaining you have too much to eat.
Yes.
You know what is crazy about you
Yes.
saying that? I was thinking about this with some of our vendor relationships. And I was like, I cannot believe this has nothing to do with this episode, but I've been getting so frustrated with some of our, some vendor relationships where it's like they put in all of this effort and a time and begging you for your business and
Like, pay attention to me. Pay
Yeah,
attention to
I'll
me.
take care of you. Just give me an opportunity, and like they'll follow up and they do all of this stuff just to get you to send them a deal, right? And then you finally send them a deal, and they drop the ball. They get lazy, or they're like they don't. That all of a sudden that energy of like trying to show you what they can do, it's gone. It's like the work ethic is just disappears, and that's not obviously that's not every vendor, but
Well,
I've
and I-
noticed that with a couple here recently, and I'm like you're begging for food on the plate, and then you get it,
Yeah.
and then you don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. To
I
me.
know, I really like that example because honestly, you see real estate agents do the same thing.
Oh yeah,
They beg you for your business.
Yep.
They're in your inbox every week, and then you decide to work with them, and then you rarely hear from them.
Yeah, yep.
know,
And
so-
they don't try to make an effort to actually do the job, or like they're like, okay, well, now what do I do? I don't know, so I guess I'm just not going to do anything.
Right.
And it's that mentality is wild to me, because it's like, then why are you going through all the effort of trying to get the business if you're not going to do anything with
Keep
it
that
once
energy.
you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Energy,
got to
yeah.
keep working at it and get better and better.
It's like people like the idea, but then once it's there, it's like, oh, I really didn't want that.
well,
on my
now I have
plate.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
I didn't want that shrimp. Like,
Yeah.
get it off my plate.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you get your deals if you're comfortable with sharing that?
Yeah, man. So it sounds kind of corny, I guess, but when I became an agent, I still hate social media, to be
Yeah.
completely honest with
Yeah.
you. So I rarely share it on social media. If I did, it basically was my wife and my kids' page.
Yeah.
You rarely see my face. It was
Yeah.
just them.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a proud girl dad. But first thing I did is I had to really put myself out there and let everybody know what I did, and not just once, but like often.
Yeah.
Because
Consistently.
when somebody's ready to buy or sell, you want your face to be the first thing they think of. You want yourself to be top of mind. So that was one first thing I prioritized. Was that. Also, I knew that I didn't want to deal with paperwork. So the very first thing I did was I hired a VA. Who still worked for me to this,
Yeah, super
to this
smart.
day.
Yeah.
So I knew I wasn't good. I wasn't going to be good with paperwork, and I knew I wasn't going to be good with social media. And so one, obviously I want to focus on social media, but two, I'm gonna have this VA help me with social media. So she still works for me. She still helps my social media, my business page stay active, my Instagram, and then she does all my TC stuff as well.
So you got a lot of deals in from your social media right
Yeah,
away, like Sphere, and you mentioned your business
like Sphere,
page too.
organic, and then I also learned to do Facebook ads. So I do run like weekly
Smart.
Facebook ads.
Is that what are the ads geared towards investors? Are they geared towards like I can tell you the value of your home? What are they geared towards? If you don't,
most of them was geared toward buyers. To be honest,
Okay,
I've tried.
yeah.
I started
creative
out
financing type stuff.
no, just buyers looking to get pre-approved who think they can't.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
time home buyers.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
nice.
I
Okay.
either mention
know
a
how.
specific program or just in general, like the benefits of buying versus renting. If you have a low credit score, I can help you get pre-approved
Yeah,
type deal.
nice. Are you comfortable with sharing like how much you have to spend per month on the ads?
I started out spending about $50 a week
That's not bad.
on ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I honestly seen immediate results.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so after a month of doing that, I kind of doubled it up.
Yeah, I was got $50 a week, and if you saw results, you got a
Right.
huge return. One deal, and your return is
The first deal I got from
Crazy.
that, I helped somebody buy a new build for $330,000. So I was
and how
like,
long did it take you to get that deal? Would you say
I probably ran that ad for 2, maybe 3 weeks most.
that's it?
Yeah, and then we did
300,000. You said.
yeah,
I'm
330,000.
sure you got 330.
spent 2
You got
weeks
the
looking.
full
Curtis.
3%.
Yes.
Curtis over there doing math for
Yeah,
you.
I see his calculators out.
Okay, I'm gonna do this off of like.
I know what he's doing because I do the same thing. That you
Yeah.
calculate that ROI. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
okay,
doing.
my
That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
marketing, my Facebook
And
marketing is spent for the year.
We don't need to
good.
talk about your split. I'm just going to do like an industry average 70% split because I feel like that's even going to be conservative with it. So that means you would have made, six.
Well, so we do. It is 100%. We have a different kind of unique structure.
Okay.
where I just
Okay.
kinda-
So you got to keep all of that. Okay. So then, so 9,900, and let's just say it took you a month. Okay, at $50 a week, that means you spent $200. So I don't even think the calculator can do this calculation.
That's cheaper than listing photos.
So that is a 4,950% return on investment.
So again, I
Ridiculous.
tried it, and
So yeah,
obviously when you
I think doubling it up
land
is
one
smart.
like that, you kind of buy into it. Right?
Oh, yeah,
And
for sure,
That's
for
kind of
sure.
like my
Yeah.
2 main avenues: Sphere, social media, and then my Facebook ads.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so then you being as you've been doing this for so long, the 2 years that you've been doing it, have you seen any fruit come from repeat business yet or referral business?
So
I guess
will-
your Sphere would be referring you stuff, but like referrals from your from people you've actually worked with.
I'll say yes, I have. Repeat business, I would say more, since I'm so technically green, would be like investors that I work
That's what I was
with,
gonna
because I was
assume.
investing, so I've actually taught some people to start investing, and
Yeah.
even that you have to make sure you're working with people that are serious.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I know
yeah.
a couple off the top of my head. They talked to me about it. I made sure they're serious. We filled each other out, and they're on their like third flip
I love that.
in like 8 months.
That's
because
awesome.
everyone
So-
wants to invest in real estate, right?
Right.
That's what I found.
Everyone wants to invest, but like, are you going to be actually actionable?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
pull the trigger.
Right. And
How
so
much
typically
money's
it's
in
like,
your bank account?
yeah.
Or do you know how to use other people's money?
But those are nice because, you help them on the front end, and then when they're done flipping, you help them on the back end list it, and you're able to forecast for the year and things like
Absolutely.
that, and plan for those.
Well, just so you know, they and this kind of varies based on like the average time that people move, right? But typically, your fourth year in real estate is usually like your biggest year because that's when it starts to like come back around, right? So, and a mistake I see a lot of agents make is they, if it starts coming back around, but they stop harvesting, they stop hunting for more for new stuff, and so you keep all the stuff going that you found success in. And now you got the deals that are coming back in. You got referrals coming in. That's when, you're not going to have time, to do it all. There's just not enough time in the day. And that's where like you starting a team and developing some people is going to really help you because then you can start cherry picking your deals and saying, hey, agent that's on my team, I have a deal for you, and now you're helping them with their business. They're going to be loyal to you because you're, they're getting deals from you,
Right.
and you don't have to. And you don't have to pass off and just to get a referral fee or miss out on a deal altogether because you don't have time. I know some agents that they never started a team or anything like that, and they're really successful, but if the deal comes in and it's too low,
Right.
they say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You're going to have to find someone else.
Right.
And they just leave it alone.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, they're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
100%.
And get a team or at least refer it out and get 25%
Yeah.
or something.
There's always an agent that
Yeah.
can convert and wants those
Yeah.
leads.
I kind of thought about the team for a long time too, and this year I probably had like 3 straight months where between those 3 months I had like 17 closings.
Yeah.
And it was great. The money was great, obviously, but like I was running and gunning all day, every day, and I was overwhelmed, and everything looked pretty on paper and social media, but I was stressed.
Yeah.
No, I bet.
And that's when I was like, I want to continue this, but I can't continue this realistically by myself.
Yeah.
And then part of my goals too, when I set goals every year was and basically finding at least 2 people that I really, really put time into and help. What that means, I wasn't sure. I was just kind of figure it out. But at that point, I said, I think this is the time to do it, right? And so it does help. One of my first agents that I got was my sister.
Yeah.
She got her license. So I was like, well, this is easy to start out now.
You're a girl dad, you respect your wife, and you love your sister to have work with her. You're a good kind of guy.
Do you have any systems in place to stay in touch with your clients that you've sold a house to already, and to follow up with them and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, my brokers, they provide a system called Lofty.
Okay,
it's a CRM.
that's what we use.
And so
Yeah.
you guys use
Lofty's
Lofty. Yeah,
awesome.
Lofty's awesome. It's powerful too. I mean,
Very.
you have to spend some time learning it because there's so much to it.
It can be intimidating for sure. Yeah.
But you just got to be willing to learn and
Absolutely.
try different things. But
It can really pay dividends if you implement systems that help you stay top of mind on social media, but then you're sending out valuable messages to people, whether it's email, text, or you put them on a thing where it even triggers you to call them if you
in the beginning you don't realize how important it is because like you're new.
Oh yeah.
And you're not busy really.
Yeah.
But once you get busy and you start I would legit just forget about buyers.
Oh yeah.
And that made me feel terrible. And I wanted to always be the best that I could possibly be. And so I was like, you know what? I need to have proper systems in place. So, I'm able to do more than one thing at one time.
No, absolutely.
You need a good business that works while you're sleeping or doing other stuff to help and take care of other people.
Yep.
Well, what do you think your biggest struggle
That's what I was about to say.
that
no one probably knows in the background.
Or a failure, or what do you struggle with, or like a big
Man,
failure?
I think I struggle. One thing I struggle with is when you called me and I had no clue that I was doing well. I had never sit down to really think about how far I've come and how well I'm doing. And I'm also guilty of comparing myself to other very successful top producing agents and thinking, man, I'm not doing well enough. I need to do better. I need to do better. And I genuinely just forget how well I'm doing or how far I've come until I meet people like you guys or even in my peers and my brokerage, and they like, man, you're killing it. You're doing this. I'm like, I am?
I am?
Yeah, I am.
Shoot,
And
I'm just showing up.
yeah, so I think that would probably be my biggest struggle, 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's a struggle, but also that's what makes you so
That's true.
successful too, to a certain extent. As long as you're not beating yourself up and
Right.
put yourself in a depression, but it's also too to I think it's always good to somewhat compare yourself to others, not completely, because what they have and what they do and the sphere that they have is completely different than mine. But I like to watch other people and grab little pieces of everything they do, because that just helps you get better, honestly, I think.
100%.
Because it's real estate agents have been around for a long time. Besides AI and technology and CRMs and all that's new, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's just take some things and build your own brand you've done,
100%.
This is a question that I ask every new agent that joins our team. and I'm going to ask you to see kind of so you can share.
So don't fail.
Your no, so you can share like
I'm
your
nervous now.
passion.
There's a
and stuff.
test after this. He didn't tell you that part.
No, it's an easy question. If I was a real estate genie,
Oh gosh, I know the question.
and
Genie, and you knew.
and I could grant you one wish. Okay,
Just imagine a big blue man right now talking to you.
But that wish, it has to be related to your real estate career, and I can snap my fingers and boom, you have it. So really the question is, what does success look like to you? And if I could snap my fingers, you could have it today. Like what is Keith working towards to where you can say, man, like this is what I set out to do, and I did it.
Right. Man, my ultimate goal is to have a top producing team.
Okay. Yep.
And now when I say top producing team, I mean
Like top 10.
I would say 5 to 10.
We'll
No
go
more
top
than that.
5.
Yeah.
Screw
So
5 to
top
10.
producing team.
You can do better than
to where
that.
I'm focusing more on my business instead of in my business.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as far as what success looks like for me, I mean, getting a little corny, but my family's big for me, and so it's
That's
just
not corny.
yeah. I mean,
It's not.
I mean, it's an easy answer, but just I came from very humble beginnings, right? My grandma raised me, and so it doesn't take a lot for me to be happy.
Yeah.
So my priority is making sure that my family, my kids, my wife, they have everything that I didn't have, and which is a lot. And so I'm always looking to like create memories, travel with my family, do things. And I just never want to be held back financially. Like
Yeah.
if we want to go to Florida next weekend just because it's nice weather and we have a 4-day weekend, we'll go. And I don't have to look at my bank account and decide like
You're not
if that-
chasing money.
Right,
You're chasing
right.
what money can actually buy you.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, and it's like, you do those things and then you just kind of sit back and reflect while they're playing. And then just to see the look of their face, their happiness, is like, that's what it's all about. That's what
Absolutely.
it's worth, right? And then, I'm a girl dad, right? And so I want them to be I want my shoes to be hard to fill when they go on and start their own families. And
Yes.
they find a man in their lives. Like
Heck yeah.
they have a certain lifestyle that they expect and they need a man to fulfill that I won't be there to do. And so that's big as well.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably do other things in that to probably help contribute.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
as well.
I'm playing Barbies.
Yeah.
I got my own special Barbie. He's the Beast. So just little things like that.
Were you Ken for Halloween? Or are you going to be Ken for Halloween?
If she asked me to, I probably wouldn't be able to say no.
I mean, you have the wrong hair color, but
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah,
can get away.
I would have to say yes to anything that most of the things
that
my
would
kids
be
ask me
pretty
to do.
awesome. Now we're Facebook friends. I better
Yeah,
see
you're
you
gonna
as
see
Ken.
me.
You just need to get his daughter to ask him to be Ken, and that's when he'll.
I bet
he'll
you'd
be
probably
Ken.
get at least 3 real estate deals from that. Like they're like
I mean,
that
you
girl
should have started
dad
with that. I'll say yes.
is ultimatum.
Okay, well let's before we wrap it up, let's ask a couple questions just to get to know Keith a little
Okay.
bit better personally.
What's your
okay?
favorite color?
Blue.
It's good.
There you go.
He was fast.
Yeah, well, some of the coffee or energy drink.
Energy drink for
Energy
sure.
drink. Okay. One thing that you would want everyone to know about you.
Man, so there's a lot about me to get to know, but one thing I think is very special is more about me and my wife. My wife, she's a very, very sweet person, very big-hearted person. Obviously, that's what attracted me the most to her. But she actually was a surrogate for my cousin.
Man, that's incredible.
Oh, wow.
So my cousin, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
she had a baby for my cousin who, she struggled with that for years and needed somebody to do it. After about 10 years of having that embryo frozen, and my wife decided to do it for her, and it was like just to be a part of that experience, and not only like for my wife but my cousin who I'm super close to. Like,
And it was successful.
huge, man. Very
the
huge.
baby's here. It was successful, and
right. It was easy. Honestly,
That's
it was
awesome.
easy. It was a great
How
experience.
old is boy, girl?
She's a girl.
Girl, how old is
her
she
name
now?
is Alana. She actually has the middle name of my wife, and
Okay.
she's about 1.5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, we still see her to this day. We have a great relationship.
How special is that?
It's
Yeah.
amazing. But I mean, if
Do they
if
live here in
anything-
Oklahoma or?
Yeah, they're like at 5 minutes from me.
Wow.
Now we need to interview his wife.
Yeah,
Next.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
seriously.
Yeah,
She
I can
sounds
tell you're a
awesome.
really
Yeah.
good person, and and your wife sounds like an even better person.
She's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
awesome.
She really is. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And
That's
so,
awesome.
She's what makes you better, right?
yeah, she really is. Yeah, for sure. She holds me accountable. She's hard on me sometimes, but she's an amazing person.
That's awesome. Favorite sports team?
Sports team, I would say Chelsea Football Club. I'm a big soccer fan, and Thunder, of course.
Now, Chelsea, where are they?
They're in England.
England. Well,
Yeah.
so is it actual like England? Like I guess that's
Yes.
just not okay.
Is that
It's
soccer?
like it's part of England.
yes,
I
that's
believe.
soccer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I just make sure. Well, I asked.
I'm a huge fan. I mean, I still play indoor soccer to this day. I'm 38 and I still try to
That's
stay in shape
awesome.
by playing soccer.
Yeah.
So
So did you grew up playing soccer?
yeah, I
guess?
played collegiate and high school, of course, all that.
Where'd you play in college?
So I played at OBU for a year, and then
Okay.
I played at USAO for 3 years.
That's awesome.
When I went to St. Gregory's.
I actually tried out there and got offered a scholarship. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Now, I didn't have the most successful, collegiate career. I was, right on the bench, but
Hey, but you
Yeah,
made
you know
got,
what?
you made it though, man.
You got a
Yeah.
scholarship,
You
right?
got-
Like, that's
you
all
got-
that
You
matters.
got to do what you love doing. That's awesome. All right. Well, Keith, thank you for being here. If you could give someone just one piece of advice, if they're stuck, if they're getting started, what's one piece of advice you'd give somebody that's getting started or trying to build their business?
man, so I would say pick your hard would be my best advice. I could continue to work my full-time job.
Yeah.
That was hard because I hated it. I
Yeah.
didn't like it anymore. I had different things that I didn't like about it. And sometimes being a real estate agent is very hard.
Yeah.
So it's just, pick your hard. Which hard would you rather do? you
Yeah,
know?
I love that too. Being poor is hard.
Being poor is hard.
Everything is
rich
freaking hard.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
it's pick your hard.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Pick
one
your
do
heart.
you want to live? That's
And
awesome.
then if you're stuck, I'd say probably just look at what you're doing that's making you stuck.
Yeah.
Think about when you were doing well and when you're doing bad, and what's the difference? What was I doing then versus what was I doing now? And just really pay attention to yourself, look in the mirror, and just change what's not working.
And make a choice.
Yeah,
Make a
exactly.
choice to do something different. Have the courage to change.
Sometimes you don't have to have the courage. You just do it scared.
Yeah.
So just do it.
I mean,
Just start.
honestly, if you're not uncomfortable, then you're not growing. I think if you're comfortable, then I think you are. Yeah, you're.
I actually
you're
just
content.
posted a video that just about this because I watched. Oh man, who's Thor? What's his name? Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a new Netflix show called Limitless, and he's like really challenging himself. It's like a really good series. If you guys have not watched,
I haven't even
it.
heard of it. That sounds.
No, it's so good. And so the first part.
This is
so-
someone who doesn't even watch TV or shows.
I know. I like randomly turned it on, and I was like,
Interesting.
man, I love Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like he's just a good guy. He's a good actor, and I love Marvel. But so I was like, I was
Is it
just
Marvel?
interested. No, it's
Okay,
not.
okay.
It's National Geographic.
Oh.
So he just hit because he's always been physically fit, right? He's
Yeah.
Thor, and he's like, but as I turned 40, he's like, I realized there's more to life than being physically fit. Like I have to be mentally fit.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so each episode, and there's not like a ton of episodes in this series. I think there's just one season, but the first one is about like mindset. And like he goes in, he gets all hooked up, and he does like some interesting stuff. Like he goes and does Cirque du Soleil. Then he also learns how to play the drums, which is actually really freaking hard.
Yeah.
I learned. And he went and played like for Ed Sheeran, and he was so stressed. But
Oh man.
anyways, they show everything. He's very like weak in this, and they talked about mindset. And when they were hooking his brain up to everything, they just started explaining like when your brain hits failure, like that's when the work is actually starting to happen inside your brain because your neurons are there. They get frustrated. You get mad because something's not working, but that's really when your brain is actually starting to really rewire
Yeah.
and start to make other channels
Yeah.
to go and learn something new. And I was like, that's so just interesting how
Very.
it actually works because then when your brain is rewired, it's not that hard anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you think about like all the things that we've ever done, because everyone's done hard things in their life, and it could be as simple as riding a bike. You get so frustrated and whatever else, but now I can just ride a bike like nothing, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
it's like because my brain finally rewired itself
And learned how
so,
to do it. No, that's really cool. No, thanks for sharing that, Brooke. Well, let's wrap it up. Keith, thanks for being here. This is Keith Tillman with Black Label. They can reach you. You're at. Is it okay if I tell everyone where
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
reach you
of
at?
course. Yeah,
you
most
want, buy, sell houses. 580-713-9506. Obviously follow him on Facebook and Instagram. And your tag name is Keith Tillman _BLR, right?
That's correct, yeah,
and that's
yeah.
your Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So go follow him. If you like today's content, please like, comment, subscribe. And thank you guys for listening and for watching.
having me.
And Keith, I appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Again.
Yeah,
It's a humbling
absolutely.
experience. And I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, we're signing out. I am Curtis Haddock, Keith Tillman, and Brooke Massey.